First contact and misunderstanding. The vast expanse of space had always held secrets, but none quite as explosive as the humans of Earth. As the Galactic Coalition's survey ship, Stellar Envoy, dropped out of faster-than-light travel on the fringes of the Sol system, Captain Zara of the luminary species felt a mix of excitement and trepidation coursing through her luminescent form. Scanners detect multiple artificial structures on the third planet and its satellite, reported Science Officer Kale, his tentacles dancing over the holographic controls. Primitive propulsion technology, but extensive colonization of their orbital space. Zara's bioluminescent patterns pulsed with interest. Fascinating. They've managed to establish a presence beyond their homeworld without achieving FTL travel. Most unusual. The bridge of the Stellar Envoy hummed with activity as the crew prepared for humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. None of them could have predicted the chain of events their arrival would set in motion. "Captain," called out Communications Officer Vex, his crystalline structure vibrating nervously, "we're receiving a transmission from the planet's surface. Audio and visual." Zara's form shimmered with anticipation. On screen, the main view screen flickered to life, revealing a human male with salt and pepper hair and piercing green eyes. He wore a crisp uniform adorned with insignias that the ship's AI quickly identified as military in nature. "Unknown vessel, this is Admiral James Harper of the United Earth Defense Force. You have entered restricted space. Identify yourself and state your purpose immediately." Zara was taken aback by the forceful tone but composed herself quickly. "Greetings, Admiral Harper. I am Captain Zara of the Galactic Coalition survey ship Stellar Envoy. We come in peace, seeking to establish first contact with your species." Harper's expression remained impassive, but his eyes narrowed slightly. "Captain Zara, while we appreciate your peaceful intentions, your unannounced arrival has put our planet on high alert. We request that you maintain your current position while we consult with our world leaders." "Of course, Admiral. We will comply with your request," Zara responded, trying to project an aura of calm authority. As the transmission ended, the bridge erupted into excited chatter. First Contact Specialist Luma, a gaseous entity contained within a translucent suit, floated forward. "Captain, their response seems unusually guarded for a species encountering alien life for the first time. Perhaps we should approach this situation with extra caution." Zara's form rippled in agreement. "Indeed, Lumi. Their military readiness is concerning. Kale, what can you tell me about their defensive capabilities?" The science officer's tentacles danced over his console once more. "Primitive by our standards, Captain, but not insignificant. They possess nuclear weapons, kinetic strike platforms in orbit, and a sizable fleet of armed spacecraft. However, their weapons would be largely ineffective against our shields." "Let's hope it doesn't come to that," Zora mused. "Vex, open a channel to Galactic Coalition High Command. They'll want to know about this development immediately." As the hours ticked by, tension aboard the Stellar Envoy grew. The humans had maintained radio silence since the initial contact, and long-range scanners showed increased activity around their planet and its satellite. "Captain," Vex called out suddenly, "we're receiving another transmission from the surface." The view screen flickered to life once more, this time showing a diverse group of humans seated around a large table. At the center sat a distinguished-looking woman with silver hair and intense brown eyes. "Greetings, Captain Zara. I am President Elena Reyes of the United Earth Government. We apologize for the delay in our response. As you can imagine, your arrival has caused quite a stir on our world." Zara's central eye pulsed with relief. "Thank you for contacting us, President Reyes. We understand the magnitude of this moment and are eager to begin peaceful dialogue between our civilizations." Reyes nodded, her expression grave. "We share your desire for peace, Captain. However, we must prioritize the safety and sovereignty of Earth. We have some concerns we'd like to address before proceeding further." "Of course," Zara replied, her form undulating slightly. "We are here to answer any questions you may have." Very well, Rice continued. First and foremost, we need assurances that your presence here is not a prelude to invasion or colonization. Earth has a long history of conflict, and we've learned to be cautious. Zara's form rippled with surprise. I assure you, President Reyes, we have no such intentions. The Galactic Coalition is founded on principles of peaceful cooperation and mutual benefit. We seek only to welcome new species into our interstellar community. Reyes's eyes narrowed slightly. And yet you arrived unannounced in a ship clearly capable of overwhelming our defenses. Surely you can understand our hesitation. The implications of the human's words sent a shudder through Zara's luminescent body. She realized too late that their approach, standard procedure for first contact with pre-FTL civilizations, had been perceived as a potential threat. President Reyes, I apologize for any distress we may have caused. Our intention was to observe briefly before making contact to ensure we did not disrupt your society. We meant no disrespect to your sovereignty. The human leader's expression softened slightly, but wariness remained in her eyes. We appreciate your explanation, Captain. However, we must insist on a more formal declaration of your intentions. We propose a face-to-face meeting on neutral ground. Our International Space Station would serve as a suitable location. Would you be willing to send a small delegation to meet with our representatives? Zara conferred briefly with her crew before responding. We would be honored to accept your invitation, President Reyes. In the spirit of transparency, may I suggest that we also provide you with a data package containing information about the Galactic Coalition and our peaceful mission. Reyes nodded. That would be acceptable. We will prepare a similar package detailing Earth's history and cultural diversity. Let us schedule the meeting for 48 hours from now, allowing both sides time to review the exchanged information. As the transmission ended, Zara turned to her crew, her bioluminescent patterns reflecting a mix of hope and concern. This is a critical moment, not just for humanity, but for the entire Galactic Coalition. We must tread carefully to ensure a peaceful outcome. Little did they know that light years away, a far more aggressive alien species had intercepted their transmissions. The Zarkoth Empire, a warmongering race long opposed to the Galactic Coalition's peaceful expansion, saw an opportunity in humanity's cautious response. As the Stellar and Voice crew prepared for their diplomatic mission, a Zarkoth battle fleet began to mobilize. They aimed to sabotage the first contact and manipulate both humanity and the Galactic Coalition into a devastating conflict that would serve their own nefarious purposes. The stage was set for a cosmic drama that would test the limits of human ingenuity and determination, as well as the strength of intergalactic alliances. The fate of Earth and the balance of power in the galaxy hung in the balance, all hinging on the outcome of a single meeting aboard a space station orbiting a blue planet on the edge of known space. The Galactic Coalition's ultimatum. The International Space Station, once a symbol of human cooperation, now stood as the nexus of Earth's first extraterrestrial diplomatic mission. As the Stellar and Voice shuttle approached the orbiting facility, Captain Zara couldn't help but marvel at the ingenuity of these newcomers to the galactic stage. Remarkable, she mused, her bioluminescent patterns flickering with admiration. To think they've achieved so much without FTL technology. Beside her, First Contact Specialist Lumi's gaseous form swirled within their containment suit. Indeed, Captain. But remember, their achievements may have fostered a sense of pride that could complicate our negotiations. The shuttle docked with a gentle thud, and the airlock cycled open. Zara, Lumi, and Science Officer Kale stepped into the station, greeted by a delegation of humans led by President Reyes and Admiral Harper. Welcome aboard the ISS, Reyes said, her tone cordial but guarded. We hope this neutral ground will facilitate open and honest dialogue between our peoples. As the two groups settled into the station's conference room, the tension was palpable. Holographic displays flickered to life, showing the data packages exchanged between Earth and the Stellar Envoy. Admiral Harper began, his voice firm. We've reviewed your information, Captain Zara. While we appreciate the Galactic Coalition's stated commitment to peace, we have concerns about the power imbalance between our civilizations. Zara's form rippled with understanding. We anticipated such concerns. Admiral, the Coalition has encountered similar situations in the past. Our policy is one of gradual integration, allowing developing worlds to advance at their own pace. President Reyes leaned forward, her eyes intense. And yet, your mere presence here has already accelerated our development. The knowledge that we're not alone in the universe has sparked both wonder and fear among our people. Cal's tentacles waved gently as he spoke. If I may, we've observed remarkable adaptability in your species. Your history shows a capacity for rapid technological advancement when faced with new challenges. That's precisely what worries us, Harper interjected. Our history also shows a tendency towards conflict when confronted with advanced civilizations. We need assurances that Earth won't become a pawn in some cosmic game of politics. As the discussion continued, none of the participants noticed a small, cloaked device attached to the station's hull. Light years away, aboard the Zarkoth battle cruiser Void Reaver, Emperor Exarchon watched the proceedings with malicious glee. "Excellent," he hissed, his scaled skin glistening in the dim light of the bridge. "The seeds of distrust are already sown. It's time to water them with fear." Back on the ISS, alarms suddenly blared to life. Admiral Harper's comm unit crackled urgently. "Sir, we're detecting multiple unknown objects entering the solar system at high speed." The conference room erupted into chaos. Harper turned to Zara, his face a mask of fury. "Is this your doing? Some sort of invasion force you neglected to mention?" Zara's luminescence pulsed with shock and confusion. "Absolutely not. We have no other ships in this sector." She turned to Cal. "Contact the Stellar Envoy immediately. We need answers." As Cal attempted to establish communication, the main view screen flickered to life, revealing a sight that chilled both humans and aliens alike. A massive fleet of dark, angular ships bristling with weapons was rapidly approaching Earth. A new face appeared on the screen, the reptilian visage of Emperor Exarchon. "Greetings, primitives of Earth and lackeys of the Galactic Coalition. I am Emperor Exarchon of the Zarkoth Empire. Your pitiful attempts at diplomacy amuse us." President Reyes stepped forward, her voice steady despite the shock. "We don't know who you are or what you want, but you are not welcome in our system. Leave immediately." Exarchon's laugh was like grinding stone. "Oh, but we are very much staying. In fact, we're here to offer you a choice, humans. Join the Zarkoth Empire as a protectorate race, or be annihilated. Your pathetic defenses are no match for our armada." Admiral Harper's fists clenched at his sides. "We will never surrender our sovereignty. Earth will fight." "How predictably noble," Exarchon sneered. "Very well. You have 24 hours to reconsider. When time expires, we will demonstrate our power by destroying your moon. After that, Earth will follow." The transmission cut off abruptly, leaving the conference room in stunned silence. Zara turned to the human leaders, her form pulsing with determination. "President Reyes, Admiral Harper, I swear to you that the Galactic Coalition had no knowledge of the Zarkoth's presence. They are our ancient enemies, conquerors who oppose everything we stand for." Reyes's eyes narrowed. "And yet they're here, threatening our world, moments after your arrival. How convenient." Looney floated forward, their gaseous forms swirling agitatedly. "You must believe us. The Zarkoth are masters of deception and manipulation. They seek to drive a wedge between us, to prevent Earth from joining the galactic community." Admiral Harper's voice was cold. "Whether you knew or not is irrelevant now. The fact remains that your presence has brought this threat to our doorstep. What do you propose we do about it?" Zara's bioluminescence pulsed rapidly as she thought. "We need to contact Coalition High Command immediately. They can dispatch a defense fleet." "Which would arrive far too late," Harper interrupted. "No, if we're going to survive this, we need solutions we can implement now with the resources at hand." Cal's tentacles waved excitedly. Perhaps we can combine our technologies. Your nuclear weapons, coupled with our shield and propulsion systems, might be enough to at least damage their fleet. President Reyes stood, her posture rigid with resolve. We need options, and we need them fast. Captain Zara, despite our misgivings, it seems we have no choice but to work together. Are you willing to share your technology to help us defend our world? Zara's form rippled with solemn determination. President Reyes, the Galactic Coalition stands with Earth. We will do everything in our power to help you repel this invasion. The Zarkov cannot be allowed to subjugate your world or any other. As the group began to frantically strategize, the clock ticked relentlessly toward the Zarkov's deadline. Outside the station's windows, the menacing shapes of the alien warships loomed ever larger against the backdrop of Earth's blue sphere. In the hours that followed, an unprecedented collaboration unfolded. Human scientists and engineers worked alongside the stellar Envoy's crew, racing against time to merge their disparate technologies into a fighting chance for Earth's survival. Little did they know, this crisis would forge an alliance that would reshape the galaxy and reveal the true potential of humanity when pushed to its limits. As the deadline approached, the fate of Earth hung in the balance, with the cosmos itself holding its breath to witness the fury that humanity was about to unleash. Humanity's ingenious defense. As the Zarkov ultimatum hung over Earth like a dark cloud, the unlikely alliance of humans and Galactic Coalition representatives worked feverishly aboard the International Space Station. Time was their enemy, but human ingenuity paired with alien technology offered a glimmer of hope. Admiral Harper paced the length of the station's main laboratory, his face etched with determination. We have less than 20 hours before the Zarkov make good on their threat. I need options, people. Dr. Samantha Chen, Earth's leading expert in theoretical physics, looked up from a holographic display she'd been studying with Cale. We might have something, Admiral. It's risky, but it could work. President Reyes leaned in, her eyes sharp with interest. Let's hear it, Doctor. Dr. Chen manipulated the hologram, showing a simulation of Earth's moon. We can't match the Zarkov's firepower, but we might be able to use it against them. Captain Zara, your shields can withstand their weapons, correct? Zara's bioluminescent patterns pulsed in affirmation. Yes, but only for a short time under sustained fire. That's all we need, Dr. Chen continued. We propose placing shield generators at strategic points on the moon's surface. When the Zarkov fire their main weapon, the shields will reflect the energy back at their fleet. Cal's tentacles waved excitedly. Brilliant. The concentrated reflection could potentially overload their systems. Admiral Harper frowned. But won't that still destroy the moon? Dr. Chen shook her head. Not if we get the timing right. We'll need to modulate the shields, allowing just enough energy through to fracture the moon's surface. The resulting debris field will act as a secondary weapon against their ships. President Reyes looked concerned. The tidal effects on Earth will be significant, Dr. Chen admitted, but manageable. It's better than losing the planet entirely. Captain Zara's form rippled with admiration. This plan combines the best of both our technologies. But can we deploy the shield generators in time? Admiral Harper straightened, a glint of determination in his eyes. We'll have to. I'll coordinate with space agencies worldwide. We'll use every rocket, shuttle, and satellite we have. As the hours ticked by, Earth witnessed the largest coordinated space effort in human history. Rockets launched from every continent, carrying hastily constructed shield generators built with a fusion of human and coalition technology. Meanwhile, on the far side of the moon, a small team led by Dr. Chen and Cale worked to set up the master control unit for the shield network. The work was grueling, made more challenging by the need to remain undetected by the Zarkov fleet. Back on Earth, militaries worldwide were on high alert. Conventional weapons were trained skyward, a last line of defense should the plan fail. The planet held its breath as the deadline approached. Aboard the ISS, now serving as the command center for Earth's defense, President Reyes addressed the world. Citizens of Earth, in a few moments, we face the greatest threat our world has ever known. But we do not face it alone. Standing with us are new allies from across the stars, reminding us that in the vastness of the cosmos, hope and friendship can be found in the most unexpected places. Whatever happens, know that today, all of humanity stands as one. As she finished speaking, the Zarkov fleet began to move. Emperor Kharkan's face appeared on screens worldwide. His reptilian features twisted in a cruel smile. Time's up, primitives. Witness the power of the Zarkov Empire and despair. A blinding beam of energy lanced out from the Zarkov flagship, streaking towards the moon. For a heart-stopping moment, it seemed as if Earth's satellite would be vaporized. But then, the impossible happened. As the beam struck the moon's surface, a shimmering field of energy sprang to life. The destructive force of the Zarkov weapon reflected back, amplified, and focused. Several Zarkov ships, caught off guard, exploded as the energy overwhelmed their defenses. Zarkon's triumphant expression turned to one of shock and rage. Impossible. Open fire on the Earth. Destroy them all. But as the Zarkov fleet moved to attack, they found themselves assailed from all sides. Chunks of the moon's surface, blown away by the reflected energy, hurtled through space, smashing into ships and disrupting formations. Earth's combined military forces seized the moment, launching a coordinated strike with every weapon at their disposal. Missiles streaked skyward, joined by energy beams from the stellar envoy and hastily retrofitted human satellites. The space around Earth became a maelstrom of fire and debris. Zarkov ships, their strategies in disarray, fell one by one to the onslaught. Those that attempted to flee found their engines crippled by the lunar debris field, leaving them easy targets. As the battle raged, Admiral Harper turned to Captain Zara, his voice tight with urgency. Their flagship. If we can take it out, we might break their will to fight. Zara's form pulsed with agreement. The stellar envoy's main cannon, combined with your nuclear devices, might be enough to penetrate their shields. Do it, President Reyes ordered, her eyes never leaving the tactical display. In a maneuver that would be studied for years to come, Earth's remaining nuclear arsenal was launched, not at the Zarkov ships, but into a precise pattern in space. As the warheads detonated, the stellar envoy fired its main cannon. The ship's energy beam, amplified and focused by the nuclear explosions, struck the Zarkov flagship with devastating force. For a moment, the massive ship seemed to shrug off the attack. Then, with agonizing slowness, it began to break apart. Escape pods jettisoned from its hull as secondary explosions ripped through the once mighty vessel. Aboard the remnants of his ship, Emperor Kharkan stared in disbelief at the scene of destruction around him. His invincible armada lay in ruins, defeated by a pre-FTL civilization and a single coalition ship. As his escape pod launched, carrying him away from the battle, Kharkan swore vengeance. But for now, victory belonged to Earth and its unlikely allies. As the last Zarkov ships retreated or surrendered, a cheer went up from every corner of the planet. Against all odds, humanity had faced its first cosmic threat and emerged victorious. But the celebration was tempered by the knowledge that this was only the beginning. Earth had announced its presence on the galactic stage in the most dramatic way possible. As the adrenaline of battle faded, a new question arose. What would this victory mean for humanity's future among the stars? A new era of cosmic diplomacy. The aftermath of the battle was a sight to behold. Earth's orbit was littered with the debris of Zarkov warships, a testament to the unprecedented alliance between humanity and the Galactic Coalition. As the dust settled, the true impact of the conflict began to unfold. Aboard the International Space Station, now a symbol of interstellar cooperation, President Reyes stood before a gathering of human and alien representatives. Her face, etched with the weariness of battle, nonetheless shone with pride and hope. Today, she began, her voice carrying across the station, and to billions of viewers on Earth, we stand at the dawn of a new era. An era where humanity is no longer alone in the cosmos, but part of a greater galactic community. Captain Zara, her bioluminescent form pulsing with agreement, floated beside the human leader. The bravery and ingenuity demonstrated by Earth in the face of overwhelming odds has impressed the entire Galactic Coalition. Your species has earned not just our respect, but our admiration. Admiral Harper, his uniform still bearing scorch marks from the final confrontation, stepped forward. This victory was not without cost. We mourn those we lost, both human and alien alike. Their sacrifice will be remembered for generations to come. As if on cue, a moment of silence fell over the assembly, broken only by the soft hum of the station's systems. Luma, the first contact specialist, their gaseous forms swirling gently, spoke next. The cooperation we achieved in our darkest hour proves that despite our differences, we are stronger together. The Zarkoth sought to divide us, but instead, they united us in ways we never imagined possible. President Reyes nodded solemnly. Which brings us to the matter at hand. The threat of the Zarkoth Empire remains, not just to Earth, but to peace-loving civilizations across the galaxy. We must decide our path forward. Captain Zara's form rippled with anticipation. The Galactic Coalition extends a formal invitation to Earth to join our alliance. Your unique perspective and proven resilience would be invaluable in our ongoing efforts to maintain peace and foster cooperation among diverse species. A murmur rippled through the human contingent. Admiral Harper's eyes narrowed slightly. And what of our sovereignty? Earth has no intention of becoming a subject race. Zara's luminescence pulsed reassuringly. Of course not, Admiral. The Coalition is a partnership of equals. Each member world maintains its autonomy while contributing to our shared goals. Earth would have a seat on the Galactic Council, with full voting rights on all matters that affect the Coalition. President Reyes considered this for a moment before speaking. We appreciate the offer, Captain. However, such a monumental decision cannot be made unilaterally. The people of Earth must have a say in their cosmic destiny. Lumi floated forward, their containment suit gleaming in the station's light. A wise decision, Madam President. Open dialogue and democratic processes are cornerstones of Coalition values. We would expect nothing less. Then let us propose this, Rise continued, her voice gaining strength. We will hold a global referendum on Earth's membership in the Galactic Coalition. In the meantime, we suggest a treaty of mutual defense and scientific exchange. This will allow our peoples to become better acquainted while ensuring our collective security against future Zarkoth aggression. Captain Zara's form rippled with enthusiasm. An excellent proposal, President Reyes. The Coalition would be honored to enter into such an agreement with Earth. As the details of the treaty were hammered out, a palpable sense of hope and excitement filled the station. Scientists from both sides eagerly discussed the possibilities of shared knowledge, while military strategists began planning joint defense initiatives. Weeks later, as the treaty was formally signed in a ceremony broadcast across Earth and to Coalition worlds, the cosmos seemed to hold its breath once more. But this time, it was in anticipation of the wonders that this new alliance might achieve. President Reyes, her pen poised over the treaty document, paused to address the watching billions. My fellow Earthlings and our new friends among the stars, today we take our first official step into a larger universe. The road ahead may be challenging, but together we will forge a future brighter than we ever dared dream. As she signed, cheers erupted from every corner of the globe. Humanity had faced its trial by fire and emerged stronger, wiser, and ready to claim its place among the stars. In the years that followed, Earth underwent a renaissance of technology and culture. The exchange of knowledge with the Coalition accelerated human development in ways that would have once seemed like science fiction. Clean energy, advanced medicine, and breakthroughs in propulsion technology transformed life on the planet. The first human-built faster-than-light ship, christened Unity, launched 5 years after the Battle of Earth, with a crew composed of both humans and coalition species. Its mission: to explore the galaxy and strengthen the bonds of their newfound alliance. As for the Zarkov, they retreated to the fringes of known space, their defeat at the hands of the Human Coalition Alliance having shattered their aura of invincibility. While they remained a threat, the combined strength of Earth and the Coalition stood as a deterrent against future aggression. Captain Zara, now an ambassador to Earth, often reflected on the turbulent events that had led to this new era. Standing on the observation deck of the expanded International Space Station, watching shuttles ferry between Earth and the Coalition ships in orbit, she marveled at how close they had come to conflict and how far they had progressed since. The cosmos did indeed stand still, she mused to herself, her bioluminescence twinkling like the stars beyond the viewport, but not in fear of humanity's fury. Rather, in awe of humanity's potential. As Earth prepared for its referendum on full coalition membership, the galaxy watched with bated breath. Whatever the outcome, one thing was certain: humanity had taken its place on the cosmic stage, ready to face whatever challenges the universe might bring, standing tall among the stars.